3, 2, 1, launch!
Should have pretty good range. We brought out vehicle.
No, it's all about power.
Code 6, Roger. Fire Alpha Fox 5305 out.
But you're gonna have to do a reload.
Off on camera.
That's perfect.
I just read notified Grafenwoehr Radio.
Yeah, my name is Major Gareth Morris and I'm a Royal Tank Regiment officer. My name is spelt G-A-R-E-T-H-M-O-R-R-I-S. I'm an exchange officer, so I work for the US Army. I work at the Manoeuvre Battle Lab at the Manoeuvre Centre of Excellence in Fort Benning, Georgia. So I'm the executive officer at the Manoeuvre Battle Lab, so I've primarily focused on the breach itself, on the objective and the integration of the UK Terrier section into the exercise. Brigades within divisions and divisions within corps, and part of that interoperability is looking for future opportunities to do joint exercises. And last year we had an opportunity to include Terrier in this exercise with a view to then assault breacher vehicle next year joining the exercise as well. And so as part of AUSA, UK and US 2-star generals meet every 6 months, and it was decided by our 2-star generals and director capability of the British Army that we would include Terrier in this particular robotics complex breach concept experiment. Yeah, so this is the first time in the world that we've had a completely roboticized combined arms breach. So this is a history book moment, and Terrier has a robotic capability, has had for some years. It's been in service, but it's never been fully run out in a combined arms breach of this scale, at battalion sized, of an armour battalion. So the Terrier itself has acted in a similar way to the assault breacher vehicle, which is in service in the US Army, but it's done it on a smaller scale, a Bradley in width in terms of the breach itself, and right from the assault position until far side security, we've had completely roboticized systems in harm's way. So from a point of view of developing doctrine, you're maintaining the same momentum in the breach, but you're not putting soldiers' lives at risk. So in complex environment, be that chemical or direct fire or a complex breach, you can keep that momentum going through the obstacle without fear of loss of life. So we proved on RCBC that adding robotics does not slow down an obstacle crossing. So we've done here a breach for a minefield, a foreseen drop into a ditch, and the removal of a berm. And we've done that putting an infantry company, an armour battalion through, and we've basically war gamed through a series of tabletop exercises the concept, and then we've now run it out on 3 iterations and timed those, and we're pulling that data and those observations and comments from the regional line force here under 1st Infantry Division, which is the 2nd Armoured Brigade combat team. And we'll take those observations and comments and feed them back into doctrine. But as at today, we can hand on heart say that it has taken no more time. If anything, it's probably given us greater advantages by not putting people in harm's way. We've had a further 5 robotic systems offering that combined arms value. So we've had Puma looking at the minefields to get an identification of surface-laid mines. We've had InstantEye doing chemical detect, which has enabled us to confirm or deny a use of a chemical warfare agent on the obstacle very quickly, which is a small UAV. We've had ADIM with the ADIM platform conducting very quick shoot and scoot fire missions onto the objective itself. It has a very fast interaction time. And we've had other systems as well providing periphery sort of intelligence value as well. Yeah, so Royal Engineers, I'm not a Royal Engineer, I'm a Royal Tank Regiment officer, although I've had an association with 2 Engineer Regiment. I've always tended to be at the cutting edge of concepts, particularly the British Army. I have some family history, so my great-grandfather was on the design team of the tank. I'm now on the design team of the next generation combat vehicle for the US Army. So from a personal perspective, take great pride. We've done a first here, a robotics breach in a combined arms sense, never done before. And there's a lot of lessons from the UK and the US that we'll take forward in terms of interoperability and also the technical subsystems that we've seen today. But it's definitely a history book moment that has just occurred, and look forward to promulgating that message and informing commanders on future regional line force missions with the enhanced forward presence that we have here in Europe and in Germany as allies, particularly the UK and the US.
My name is Josiah Daniel McCoy, Josiah, Daniel, Daniel, McCoy, MCCOY. I'm a Baker Company Commander in 163 Armor, part of 2nd Brigade, 1st ID. So we were brought out here to support a combined arms breach using roboticized and automated systems. So we were sent out here as part of that battalion combat team. We were the support by fire element. So for my guys, what we worked on was to achieve suppression for the overall mission in order to allow automated breaching assets and regular engineers to move up to conduct a complex breach. I was one of 2 company commanders overall. My responsibilities was to ensure that we were able to cover the objective with direct fires and also use indirect fires to shape the objective in order to allow the engineers to close the distance to the breach. We were responsible for identifying that point of breach and then ensuring that all the conditions were set with obscuration, with suppression, before they were able to move forward and conduct their breach. My team was responsible for the M58 smoke. They were attached to us and followed us forward as we moved into our support by fire. This helped out the engineers and was a pretty good task organization because it allowed us to set the conditions before they even moved up. I've never done a breach at NTC. The first breach I ever did was actually here in Germany when we did our company live fire event. It was interesting to see the differences between that and this event here. It was a challenge for us, it was a challenge for the platoon leaders, but a good one. We came in expecting to test systems, but we were testing in and of ourselves, our own systems, and I think that overall these systems allowed us to be successful. Overall, our up tempo with the systems that we had, with the problem set we were given, through a couple iterations, we were able to decrease our time quite a bit. So our overall tempo that we used as we moved through was pretty good. Using both our organic weapon systems, regular indirect fire to shape the battlefield, and then the systems that we were given. From seeing how the fight unfolded and seeing how we were able to use these systems, how the engineers used the unmanned breaching assets to move forward, for how we were able to use smoke without actually having to rely upon indirect fire missions, being able to hand it our level. I see a lot of potential for, like you said, increasing the tempo overall and also increasing the survivability of soldiers in these type of operations. I told my guys when we started this, it was ironic that we were doing breaching assets with fascines in a way they did 100 years ago during World War I. When they first started bringing tanks onto the battlefield during that time period, it was a novel concept, it was new, and it didn't always work. So I think with using robotics, it's one of those things we have to do. I think we have a responsibility to do it to, one, make ourselves successful against new and emerging threats. So overall, yes, I see a lot of potential for the working of robotics with conventional U.S. forces to increase survivability and to increase tempo and to overall make sure that we keep up with other foreign threats. I think this was a great opportunity for us to build relationships with other entities out there that can help us be more successful. I think it opened our eyes a little bit on what capabilities are out there, how we can improve our TTPs, and how the future is going to go. So overall, I think it was a very good exercise, very successful. I think it made us a lot better overall.